Welcome to link 9. Traditionally, this link is called grasping. I also like to think of it as holding or even as pattern. The previous link was craving, push, pull. It was movement toward or away from a feeling tone. This link is what happens when we keep that movement going. We try to make the feeling last longer, or we try to make sure a feeling never happens again. There's a sustaining energy where we try to make the moment carry forward. This is where the energy we experience is along the lines of, I want to keep this. I want to repeat it. I want to avoid certain things. I want to make sure this doesn't happen again. At a basic level, the system is trying to help. Something felt good or comfortable, so we want to repeat it. Or something felt bad and uncomfortable, so we want to avoid it. On a survival level, it makes sense. We need to learn from experience. We need to remember what's helpful and what's harmful. But in our modern lives, these same systems can get co-opted for things that are not really about survival. This is where we get a lot of our patterns of anxiety, avoidance, compulsion, and just doing the same thing over and over again. In the video game metaphor, this is where the gameplay loop starts to lock in. The player has learned what gives rewards and what causes damage. Now the pattern repeats. Seek, avoid, collect, defend, upgrade, repeat. So, rather than this link being just a response to a condition, our actions have become loops or patterns. This link shows up as repetition. We can find ourselves living out the same tired patterns, habits, and addictions. The earlier links have happened so quickly that we didn't notice them. We didn't really notice the sensations, feeling tones, or the actions we took. Now we're just inside the pattern. We're doing the same thing we've done again. We're thinking the same thing again. Reacting the same way again. Trying to get the same good feeling or trying to avoid the same bad feeling. But there's no vitality or aliveness. It's just something automatic. So that's the key here, is that by the time this link is active, we don't experience it as a choice. It just feels like this is what I do. It's how I react and it's how I am. But underneath that, the system is trying to maintain something. It's trying to hold a pleasant feeling tone or avoid an unpleasant one, or keep some familiar version of experience in place. That's why I like the language of pattern here. In this link, we see that we are repeating the action or movement from the previous link. So what does this look like in life? One example is someone says something that gives us a negative feeling tone. Maybe they criticize us, they dismiss us, they say something that feels unfair. The feeling tone shows up, doesn't feel good. We want to defend, explain, leave, shut down, or make them see it differently. And then, with grasping, the pattern keeps going. We replay the conversation. We keep defending ourselves internally, even when the person's not around. We tell the story again, or we keep doing something with it. We keep ruminating. And so now we're looping, reinforcing, trying to keep this moment alive. This happens with pleasant experiences too, of course. So let's say it's a beautiful day outside. Without getting caught up in the links, we simply walk outside, experience the beautiful day, and then the day ends. No problem. But if grasping starts to take over, we try to keep the beautiful day. We want to make it last. And as the day starts to end, we get sadder and sadder. Or every time it's not a beautiful day, we're unhappy about it. So this applies both ways. We try to repeat the good, try to avoid the bad. and we try to maintain patterns that keep life just the way we think it should be. So, how do we get trapped by this link? We get trapped when the patterns are unconscious. We don't notice the earlier steps, the feeling tone, the movement. We're just inside this pattern, repeating it. Our thoughts, actions, behaviors, and reactions repeat, and it all feels automatic. The pattern keeps reinforcing itself, and because we don't see it clearly, we keep feeding it. That's how grasping binds us. But this link can also be freed. When we are liberated from our patterns, we clearly identify them. We recognize, oh, I'm doing this again? If we catch the pattern, we can see how it's serving us or not serving us. We can choose to continue the pattern, modify it, or stop it. Depending on what kind of pattern we're talking about, we may choose to let it go, or we may choose to continue it. We're not trying to necessarily get rid of our patterns. Mindfulness and curiosity simply expose them for what they are and why they show up. Then we choose what to do about them. Feed the pattern or let it go. The choice is then ours. So our practice for this link is to notice repetition. Anytime you notice a thought, feeling, behavior, or reaction repeating, just ask, is this repeating? Do I need to do this again? And don't even consider changing it right away. Just experience it. Be curious about it. This isn't about judgment. That's really important. As we learn about the 12 links, patterns of judgment can very easily form because we're exposing parts of our experience that we may not have been noticing before. So the practice is not, oh no, I'm doing it wrong. The practice is, oh, this is a pattern. Interesting. What else is there to notice here? We have to approach this with love and openness. Judgment does not lead to loosening the patterns, nor does it lead to us being free. So in sitting practice, we get to notice these patterns in a very subtle way. If there's a repeating thought, repeating emotion, or maybe there's a repeating impulse to fix, adjust, plan, or drift away, just be curious. Notice what repeats, and notice how we feed it, and just see it. And to recap where we are in the chain, we started with forgetting the present moment and not seeing clearly. From there, the mind builds a world, filtered awareness becomes awake to that world, then we apply labels and shapes, the senses come online, the senses make contact with experience, feeling tones arise from that contact, then there's the movement of craving, the push-pull of wanting or not wanting the feeling, and now, when that craving repeats, a pattern develops. So, as you go about your day, see if you can notice repetition, patterns in behavior, in thinking, in reaction. When you see one, slow down a little bit. Investigate it in the moment or even afterwards. So let's just sit, see what we notice. Just notice what shows up. If the energy of grasping is reaching out, leaning, moving towards something, then the energy of clinging is tightening around it. We're not merely leaning, we're trying to hold on. So see if you notice any tension. There's always a bodily sensation connected with any type of grasping or clinging. What are you holding on to? Just drop it. Let go. Ease up. All right. It's important to awaken a sense of curiosity when it comes to releasing patterns. We have to stay curious with an open heart if we have any hopes of opening up old patterns. So, whatever you notice, treat it with compassion. So, thank you for your practice, and thank you for joining me. And I'll see you in the next link, link 10.